And this one did great, man. Opening weekend. It's by director Zach Kreger, and it's going to be called Weapons. And in this film, when all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanished on the same night at exactly the same time, the community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. And this film stars Julia Garner. We got Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Austin Abrams. We also got in here. There's a bunch
I
of
thought it
people
was
in
just
here,
real
man.
neat. We had the Silver Surfer, Wong, and Thanos
Thanos.
slash Cable in the same film together.
hmm Yeah, and a bunch of kids, man. So I don't know, man. I feel like this film is also in the realm, man. I gotta put this in the realm lately with Eddington and Together, where I feel like there's some great parts of this film, but there's also parts of it that don't work for me, man. And it's crazy because I really love Barbarian by Zach Kreger, and I think Barbarian worked because it was a film about subverted expectations. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the setup in that, and I think he's trying to do the same thing here, but it's got a little bit more complicated in the process of making this. Maybe he was trying to outdo Barbarian bad, so I think this film has a lot more fat that could have been trimmed. But I will say what I did like about it, man. I think what I liked about it was just the premise and the setup. I think that was cool. We see that in the trailer where mysteriously this neighborhood, this one teacher's whole class doesn't show up. I think except for one kid, and it's 2:17 a.m. They all walk out of their homes, and for some reason they're doing a Naruto run, which is a little wacky. But you know what I'm saying. But then I think for the most part the performances are great in this. I really did like. My favorite was probably Brolin in this, and also who's the kid that plays the crackhead? Um, was that Austin Abrams?
Oh, I had to.
I'm trying to go by the face, but he looks too cleaned up here. I think that is the kid, Austin Abrams. And apparently, this whole cast was recast because I guess initially when they planned to make this film, the timing was messed up. So all the actors they initially casted, including your boy Mr. Fantastic, he was
Yeah,
supposed to play Brolin's character.
Pascal's will be in it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Brolin's character. So the only one that stayed over from that first casting was Austin Abrams, who plays the character James in here. And he was nutty, man. The way he's tied into all of that, that's when I was having fun. But and also I think the ultimate mystery, I'm not gonna spoil that comes to play. It had a little bit of interest stuff. It tracks with what we've got from Kreger's Barbarian, and then the finale was a little wild, but I just felt like this thing, man, there was a chunk of it from the initial setup. I was like, all right, I'm in. But then I think we're trying to they're doing this thing where we're doing this overlapping Pulp Fiction kind of chapter reveal. There's overlap. There's some story. We're getting different point of views and different accounts of certain events to help unravel this mystery. And some of these chapters or some of these characters just felt more interesting to me than others. I think we got a little bit of too much time with Julia Gardner's character that wasn't directly related to the mystery itself. I was like, okay, I don't need to see you, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with this officer and like carrying on. So it kind of made this thing a little bit inflated for me, man. You know what I'm saying? By the time it sapped a lot of energy around me, that first hour, dude, I kid you not, man. I don't know what's going on with me lately, Courtney. Maybe I'm losing patience, but it's
It
like if you
well,
make a long
well,
film, I feel like I
well,
gotta be in there. You gotta have me
well.
entertained for that whole time. Like
See,
it's
see, I really love this film, and I didn't
Mhm.
really see any
A
problems
lot
with
of
it.
people do. I feel like I'm on the outside with this film. A lot of
But
people love it.
but thing about it is like when you're dealing with like a mystery and stuff, everything needs to be playing out. You can't look at a certain thing because you don't really know what's relevant and non-relevant to what's going what the overall picture is. I
Until
enjoyed
you get to
every
the
bit about.
end. Until you get to the
Well, you
end.
just learn it. You kind of learning about the character and what the state of mind is in and all that. But overall, I love this film, and then I didn't know nobody spoiled anything for this from me on this. But I
hmm
will. The only thing I will say it's something supernatural happening in this,
hmm
and
See, I
that pretty
wasn't gonna
much.
go do that for y'all. I was trying to go in as blind as possible. Courtney's spoiling it for you. Don't get mad.
Well, well, yeah. I will. I'll only say that, but the whole premise on that just caught me completely off guard because I didn't know what direction we was going in this film. I
Hmm.
didn't know if it was. I was just thinking it was like a alien type deal that was happening, and it was going to be a big alien abduction type thing. That's what
See,
that's the only thing I thought about during
I
the film.
wasn't thinking aliens, man, because the thing that got me, because like, not that there's any rules that you can't do something different because you did something before,
Yeah,
because Barbarian was grounded in reality, even though it was absurd and crazy.
yeah,
I thought it would be something similar, like more, just instead of a supernatural phenomenon happened, a more, different kind of explanation. But there were things in here, like I said, man, and like the thing that blew me today, I saw an interview with Kreger, and he's like, yeah, there's some plot holes in this thing. And I was like, oh, wow. I didn't notice any plot holes, but there were people that were complaining about a particular scene involving the officer. And, that didn't, throw me out or make me wonder what, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, it's just, I get to the end of this thing and I was like, okay, this was kind of cool. But to me, it felt like a roundabout way to make a scene that resembled the end of Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead. It's like this is a
yeah. That
convoluted way,
I did.
to get to
Yeah,
that point,
I
which
did.
which was a cool image. And I was and as I'm watching it happen, I
Well,
was like, how far is
I
it going
will.
to go?
I,
I was like, how far is it going to go? And then when it went all the way, I was like, yes, okay, he didn't back away, he went all in. But I don't know, like
I will tell you this.
mhm.
This might be one of the most intense films I think I've seen in a long time because you don't really know what's happening, and then when you start figuring out what's happening, you start saying to yourself, "How effed up is this? How in the world and how effed up of a character is this to have this going on?" And then whenever the tables get turned,
Mhm.
that was probably the most entertaining I think I've had in a long time in a film. I'm just
Mhm.
talking about I was almost rooting, for what was going on, when the tables got turned. And by the way, Benedict Wong,
It was
whatever
fun,
the stuff
man.
that goes on with his character, that was so messed up.
Mhm.
I just
He was nuts. But my thing too, when I look at something like this, like, for me, a lot of mysteries, they don't really have a lot of replay value for me. If everything else, the solving of the mystery isn't as good as the final reveal. And I think this film has a really great final reveal, but I can't see myself willing to sit through all of that again just to get to those few banger moments at the end. And it's like, and I think that's the biggest problem for me, because
I'm
like I said, at first the Tarantino style chapter thing, that was, floating me for a bit, but then it got a little bit repetitive, and I don't think I was getting enough from each of these chapters. Like, by the time things really ramp up and start going, I was kind of just like beat up and worn out. It was stretching my attention span to the thinnest, to the tiniest frame, bro. I was fatigued, bro.
I was
I was
all
like,
in because when we get the first reveal about what's happening, I was wondering how are they going to get out of this situation because I didn't, I was at a
mhm.
point in this film to where I don't know. I just
I
thought the
think
bad guy was going to win. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I, I think you know what it is, man. I think for me, maybe it's just I've seen so much of this stuff, and it's like my brain, like I had figured out a lot of things early, or a lot of possibilities where things could go early, and it's not like I was trying to, but it's like once things got to a point, like I'll put it this way, man. I don't, in the act of watching a film, I could kind of feel myself slipping and checking out. And once I get to a certain point, it's really hard to get me back, man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And like I said, that stuff was great at the end, but by then I was just like, damn, why couldn't it have all been as interesting as this for me? I don't know. Like I said, I'm an outlier. Maybe it seems like it worked for way more people than it didn't. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And undeniable, this thing is still like, I think 97%, Rotten Tomatoes on the professional side. It's still in the high 90s on the viewer side, so
Okay.
maybe I'm just an outlier. Maybe I'm just in like, but you gotta see it, man. So you gotta see this to make up your own mind. And the theater is going to be the best place to see it. I mean, the crowd I was with, man, when the things got crazy, like they were all in it. You know what I'm saying? They
I'm
was
just
there.
saying, there's a part to where you have somebody roaming around in this area, and it's doggone scary because you don't know what's going to happen.